Yo, I'm back at it, the rap addict. I have static to average rappers who act lavish and lack passion. You sad bastards, you trash flashing, that's bad habits. I just laugh at it. You mad passive, don't have actions. I've been on cruise control and still I don't lose the flow. We're going to talk about the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. Of course, I'll start with the East, which I don't think people were saying, Skip Bayless, and people were like, oh, the Eastern Conference. It's actually a pretty good conference at this point.
It is.
I would say the league's pretty well balanced for people that want to check out the league. So let's talk about the best seeds. We got, the Sixers and the Celtics on top. Just, that's where we're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that all this whole.
That's where you're supposed to be.
And that's where we're going to be.
All right,
we're going to stay there.
When the playoffs come.
You're going to be like this. Look it up all the time. So what do you think of those two teams and what's standing out to you about those two teams?
So,
especially the Sixers.
Philly and Boston, nothing stands out to me.
Okay.
And that's a good thing because that's where I expect them to be there. So I'm not shocked or anything like that, but I do think they are the best teams in the East.
Right.
So for Philly, Philly and Boston, as long as they can stay healthy. If Kemba Walker was playing and if Jason Tatum wasn't going out, I think they could take the East. But it's all going to depend on the health.
Yeah, we're going to be going like this. Like we're going up, we're going to go down. And then when Tatum comes back and everyone's healthy, that's pretty much when we're going to take over. I think we have the potential to take over the whole conference, but it's going to be hard to sustain that. We probably will remain like a 4th seed, 3rd seed, something like that, probably by the end. Just to give out a stat, because I'm biased, our bench is top 10 in 3-point percentage. Like I've never looked up that stat, but I was like, let me look up some stats on the bench because we are on a 4-game winning streak right now. We beat the Heat and the Wizards, and they're trash.
I wouldn't say the Heat are trash, but the Wizards.
No, I said the Wizards are trash.
Oh, okay.
The Heat aren't trash. They are disappointing though, I would say, to me. So let's talk about the underdogs. Who are your underdogs in the Eastern Conference?
So my underdogs, I have 2 underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Atlanta, only because they're a young team and nobody's really expecting them to make it to the conference finals or anything like that. But they are young and they're loaded with talent. They're very dangerous once everybody stays healthy. And Trae Young, he's still gonna be him. Clint Capella's I think he's 2nd in the league for rebounds. He's getting his blocks up. If he could just be his defensive anchor, Trae Young can facilitate and get his points. If everybody can step up and come along like a team, I think they are very underrated. But my second team, who I feel like everybody knows about them, but they're quiet.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Indiana. I feel like Indiana's they're the third in the conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hear, Victor Oladipo. You're not hearing his name anymore. But Malcolm Brogdon, Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner. They're very good at defense. They're very good at team ball. Nobody's playing like they're going to be an all-star except Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
But that team is very good. I won't be surprised if they make it to the 2nd round, 3rd round.
And you think they could beat any team?
No. Not any team. But I'm not picking them to make it to the final. But they are the underdogs.
Nah, I wasn't doing that. But So the Pacers, I have a interesting take on them because they're like the Spurs of the East, man. Like nobody really talks about them like that. I wouldn't say they're underdogs though, because they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And they've been sustaining a level of excellence for a long time, and now they got Oladipo back. Sabonis is playing crazy. I was watching him play against the Rockets. They had no answer for him. And Turner, people were kind of talking about him being soft and stuff, but he's actually not doing too bad. I just think he needs to stay in the paint, and keep attacking because, when you see the Lakers, right, blow through all these teams, you got AD, you got LeBron, you got, they have Montrez and they got, Gasol. They always have all these bigs. Like, someone tried to argue that the Warriors, right, I think I saw on the first take, they would demolish the Lakers because they have three-point shooters. But when you have bigs like that in the paint, getting all the rebounds and stuff, you taking over the game. So that's what I see with the Pacers. And you got, Oladipo and stuff. So I don't know. I think the Pacers are a great team, but I wouldn't call them underdogs because they've been doing this. And the Hawks, I disagree with you because we have that expectation for the Hawks to be a great team this year. And it doesn't matter if they're going through the little troubles and they're young, like, Trey Young's, and you were talking about John Collins before. Time to get to the playoffs. There's no excuses. I want to see some playoff stats from those guys, and I have yet to see some. They got a good team, so I wouldn't call them underdogs. My underdogs would be the Hornets because they're actually in that playoff picture right now, and it's early, but what if they actually make it to the playoffs? What are we going to say? That's amazing. Like, LaMelo Ball, rookie, and we talked about, like, he outdid his brother that game, man, against the New Orleans Pelicans. Like, yeah. And then New York, too. New York has a good record right now. What if they make it to the playoffs? And the Hawks don't. Or those are my underdogs. They're doing good right now.
Yeah, they are doing good. I just think I won't be surprised if they go on a losing streak for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
If they make it, I'm surprised. But if they don't, I'm not surprised. They have the pieces, but I don't think that they're trying to compete.
I don't know, man. The Hornets came off a back-to-back, and they beat the Hawks really bad.
Yeah, they're gonna win their games, but I just feel that I expect the Hawks to make the playoffs, but they're the underdogs to make it to the second or third round.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I agree.
I don't think they will make it to the third round, but they're dangerous enough to do it, and I think they're going to be the underdogs in the playoffs.
Right.
Depending on who they're playing, I'm not expecting them to be in the top four. I expect them to be 6th, 7th, 8th seed. But if they make it to the playoffs, that's expected. If they make it to the conference finals, they're the underdogs.
I agree, but it depends who they're playing against, too.
Definitely.
Well, actually, they're probably going to be underdogs in all cases. So who are your failures in the Eastern Conference?
If we don't have the same failures, Washington. You can't have Bradley Beal, who's a 30-point-per-game guy, Russell Westbrook, who's a triple-double threat.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's saying Thomas Bryant is up and coming. I don't know if Hachimura has been playing yet, but they say he's up and coming. They should not be the worst team in the league. They shouldn't. They're healthy. It's not like Russell Westbrook's been out. Bradley Beal's been out.
He has been out, though. He hasn't played every single game.
But the first 5 games of the season, he's been getting triple-doubles, and they're still losing. I don't know. I think Washington is a fail. You can't have your top 2 players doing all this, and they're still losing. There's going to be a trade. I see it coming.
I agree with you, but I disagree on the failure. Because I feel like, hey, I had to make it interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? So, so the reason why is because I believe the Rockets won that trade. Definitely. I said it from the beginning, and people were saying, no, because Russell Westbrook got his own team now, and he's going to do this and that. I knew Russ was on the downturn, man, and I don't care if he plays great this year. I don't think he's as great as he used to be, and I just don't know, man. He plays too wild. He plays too crazy, and, people were questioning, like, he doesn't want to win. He just wants to put the stats up, and honestly, I'm starting to believe it. So, yes, you are right about those points you made, but the Wizards, come on, man. The Wizards were always like this. I don't care if you got those two players. Bradley Beal, he'll score 40, 50 points. Russell Westbrook do his triple-double, but they don't got good team chemistry.
They don't.
What can you expect from them? I like Hachimura a lot, but honestly, I don't have those crazy expectations on them, and I never did. My failures would be the Hawks, because right now they're 11th seed, and they're below 500. They've lost a lot of good games that I believe they should be winning right now. They should be having a winning streak. They shouldn't be losing these stupid games. And people saying, they're young. Hey, yo, people are saying, like they're young, these expectations, blah, blah. They still, they're an underdog. They're not an underdog. They're expected to make the playoffs this year, and I expect them to do so effortlessly. They need to build that chemistry early. Stop losing these stupid games. I just lost a bet because I did a bet that they would win by more than 5 points against the Hornets coming off a back-to-back, and they kicked their ass. So I'm a little mad too, maybe. And I would also say Miami. They're 4-4. You know, they're above 500. They're a 10th seed, but what's going on? You guys made it to the finals last year. Start winning some games. You know, prove people wrong.
You finished?
Yes, sir.
All right. So listen up. I understand you saying, oh, okay, they're the 11th seed, but like you say, it's early. But if that's the case, Toronto has always been this good team. They're 2-6. They're the 13th seed.
That's a good point.
Brooklyn, KD, Kyrie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, all those. Brooklyn, they're 5-5. They're the 9th seed.
They've been playing without KD a lot, though.
You can't. Kyrie and KD had played against the Hawks, and the Hawks beat them.
Well, that was like the first few games, though. Now the Hawks are doing bad.
We only 10 games in. We still got 60 more.
Of course.
So if you think the Hawks are a failure, and you can't lie, they are young. Yes, they have the expectations to make the playoffs, but the Toronto Raptors are well coached. They have the good pieces. Kyle Lowry, you're supposed to lead this team. Pascal Siakam, you're supposed to lead this team. You can't be 2-6. But man,
see,
the Hawks.
See the
Hawks.
The Toronto Raptors. The Hawks.
The Hawks.
Listen,
but Brooklyn 5-5 out the playoffs.
They're chilling. But
how they chilling?
They got to rest their players because you know Kyrie and KD are going crazy.
You on the couch watching the rest of the team play in the playoffs. You want to chill now?
I hate to admit it. Listen.
Chill.
I hate to admit it, but Kyrie destroyed my team like the first game that we played. And those guys have been rested. They've been injured. Kyrie and KD could skip 20 games and still come back and make it to the playoffs. Like, they're scary, okay? Like, them losing games is not a big deal right now. Obviously, they haven't played together, so the chemistry's a little off, but Kyrie and KD don't got to play any games until it matters. And then when it matters, we all going to shut up because they're going to destroy everybody. Like, that's how I feel, unless their chemistry is bad. If their chemistry is bad like this, they're not going to make it to the Eastern Conference. But Toronto is kind of like the Wizards because, in a way, like, they're not – come on, I love Fred VanVleet. You know, Kyle Lowry, he's a great player. You think that backcourt is going to do anything? Come on, man. You don't got Kawhi. You got Siakam. That's it.
Look what they did last year. They made it to the last year. They made it to the second round. If you think they're bad,
they are bad. They don't have any discipline that they're lacking. They're lacking the discipline. They're like the Spurs in a way too. Like they're almost like Pacers and Spurs, where they're just a disciplined team. They have to rely on not just talent, but their skill set and them playing as a team. But like, they're not doing any of that, and they don't have the talent to make up for it. KD and Kyrie have the talent to make up for anything.
But if that's the case, if you say KD and Kyrie can skip 20 games, lose those 20 games,
maybe like
whatever.
10, whatever.
All right, so they don't play for however long. They lose those games, but they can still come back and make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That means when KD and Kyrie are playing, they shouldn't be losing to the teams which you think are the failures in the Hawks.
I should have reworded it. They're not a failure, but they're failing right now.
You said what you said. Atlanta versus Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken, they were defensively, neither team was there. They were both scoring 140 points.
I want to see it again later in the season.
They played 2 games already.
Well, I want to see 2 more. I think they played 2 more games.
They lost the first, but Atlanta won the second. And both times, they both have weapons, but both games, Brooklyn is expected to win. Kyrie and KD both played.
So their defense was a little down that game. I mean, what do you
want
to
say? Yeah, they are, but the Hawks are too. You can't. They scored 140 points.
The Hawks didn't make it to the playoffs last year, so we need to see them like in action. It can't be like them making these stupid mistakes. It's almost like when the Bucks went on that 60-game. They had 60 games or whatever. They were the first in the playoffs, and they were first in the conference. And like they made it to the playoffs previously, but we didn't have expectations for the Bucks. and then Giannis became MVP. I'm not saying Trae Young is going to do that, but like, I kind of want that kind of year for them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they can't be messing up now.
yeah.
You just said that they beat the Brooklyn Nets in the beginning, so they should still be on a roll, but they're
Yeah,
not.
they should be.
They're not on a roll right now.
Just like Boston lost to Detroit, it
Why you-
happens.
All right, why you gotta bring that up? All right, you ain't gotta bring that up. Listen, man, we on top of the conference. We don't even see it. We like we're the Detroit Pistons.
All right,
Man.
all
Let me
right,
wipe
y'all
my
gonna
feet real quick.
Y'all gonna be praying for Jason Tatum to come back.
We chilling, man. Yo, worry about your team. JB
We
got
chilling.
this.
You
And
know-
you just said Kemba's coming back.
When the conference finals come,
Who y'all got?
the
Blake
Celtics gonna be chilling.
and
on the
Derrick
couch.
Rose.
Boston
Derrick
Celtics gonna be
Rose.
chilling on the couch watching the finals.
Is it 2011? Like, I see Derrick Rose playing. I love Derrick Rose. I'm glad that he's playing. But Derrick
All right, watch
Rose
your mouth now. Watch your mouth.
and
Watch your
Blake
mouth. You about to start losing some viewers.
Griffin.
You about to start losing some users. Watch your mouth. Don't talk about Derrick Rose.
Bro, I'm not talking about Derrick Rose, but Detroit is ass.
We are. But Boston is supposed to make the finals.
Stay in your place.
When are they gonna do it? When is
You
Boston?
stay in your place, we'll be over here winning games.
All right, and they both gonna be on the couch watching the finals.
Yo, I'm back at it, the rap addict. I have static to average rappers who act lavish and lack passion. You sad bastards, you trash flashing, that's bad habits. I just laugh at it. You mad passive, don't have actions. I've been on cruise control and still I don't lose the flow. Been a couple years and I still outdo my foes. Difference back then, people said I had to prove I'm dope, but now I do the most and I've grown, so I can fool your hoes.